It took me 5 years to get rid of my anxiety with depression. And it all stemmed from when I was younger and I faced so many tribulations. Now, here's the story that happened to me. The story that happened was when I was younger, I used to tackle with a lot of anxiety. And a lot of this anxiety came from, let's just say, I'm not going to mention the person's name, but this specific person used to always belittle me, shout at me, and it used to really break my confidence. It used to break my confidence. And if you're someone that was raised in like a, environment where people are always shouting and belittling you and forcing you to do things that you don't want to do, or not taking consideration of your emotions, beating you, just being very vicious and very violent, non-communicative. Like, it wouldn't be me to the person. It would just be that person says this thing and that's how it goes. And going through this led to a lot of depression and anxiety. And if you are someone, like I said, that has been through an experience like this, you can relate. And I'm not like trying to make you guys feel bad for my situation. I'm just letting you know that because of this situation happening, I was put in a really difficult spot. And I had to learn how to overcome these things that kept coming up in my mind, and just getting the weird shivers in my stomach and just feeling anxious going to school. Even coming home from school, I'd just be anxious and depressed. Like, I wouldn't want to come home because I know that I'm going to come home and there's going to be this tyrant shouting at me and beating me and abusing me, and no one deserves to go through this. Like, personally, obviously now I don't really care, and you can say what you want about that, like, at the end of the day. And when I say I don't care about what that person did to me. So, like, I've forgiven that person and it's nothing to me. Like, I don't seek revenge or want to go out there and beat him up, or like, I'm not that type of person personally, and I'd never do that. That's stupid. I'm a Christian. I've come from a good background. I was raised by like a very good mother, and I love my mother and I cherish her, and I literally do everything for my mum. And you can probably relate to this as well. Like, my mum showed me so much love, so much compassion, raised me with so much like conviction that I am her child and I am her blood, and she's always been there for me and stuck up for me. She's literally been like my father figure, and I love my mum to bits, and literally I'd do anything for my mum. And I would say my mum definitely helped me to overcome my anxiety and depression, speaking to me, encouraging me. Although she might have her emotional bouts, I understand, obviously, as a woman, women are usually more like emotional. And I'm not being like misogynistic right now, but I'm just being honest. I'm just being truthful. Women are usually more emotional and they tap into their emotional side. So her relating to me emotionally definitely helped. Like, at the end of the day, men have emotions too. We're just more logical thinkers. But obviously, in today's generation, a lot of men are being made to be like women. So it's like, it's sad what society is doing to the men of today's generation. And even me speaking out on this, I'd probably hold some shame, or you're probably judging me for saying this, or other people will judge me, people will hate me for saying this. But I know a small portion of people will literally watch this video or listen to me speak right now, and they will understand where I'm coming from. They will know that a lot of men are being indoctrinated. A lot of men are being, forced to become more feminine. A lot of men are like eating things that are making their hormones and things that are just giving them, like, reducing their estrogen, like soy, just eating so much, even just like saturated foods, fatty foods, processed foods. All these things reduce your estrogen, reduce your testosterone. And these are things that we as men, we need to strive to become greater, more developed, more, thoughtful. Yes, we can have emotions, but emotional intelligence, the emotion to be able to withstand certain pressures that we go through, and also to be there for other people. One thing I've learned through my anxiety with depression is that I have to be there for other people, because the same way I didn't have anyone there for me at certain times when I really needed people. Like, I'm still grateful to my mom for obviously being there. She can't be there every day, guys. Like, she's a human being. She's not a robot. Like, she's not like my phone, which can be with me every single day, and like all I need to do is charge it. So like, I do understand. Like, I can't literally expect my mom to be there. Like, especially, I'm talking more in my youth. Obviously now I don't really need that like compassion and love and, that affection from my mom and nurturing and like I don't need that from her. But in my childhood, like, obviously I'm not gonna expect her to be there every second of the day. But I'm not gonna lie, like, the more you are around someone, especially going through anxiety with depression, the more you have someone around there with you, the easier it is to tackle this bout. It's so simple because that person is literally guiding you through your emotions, calming you down, reassuring you, listening to your problems. Similar to what a therapist would do in cognitive behavioral therapy. And that's the main reason why I created my Discord, because I want you to join my Discord. I want you to drop me a DM, or I'll drop you a DM. And I want you to follow through with a completely free CBT therapy session, and I will literally guide you through this 1 hour session. I will go through everything, most problems that go through your mind, most problems that, are usually keeping you depressed or anxious. And we will find the root problem to your problem, the root. I can't even talk anymore, guys. Guys, genuinely, like, I'm so passionate about this thing that I'm doing, like helping people with anxiety. And a lot of people get depressed, and they get depression over time as this anxiety builds up. And I know this firsthand because I've literally lived a life full of anxiety and depression. Like, I remember back when I was younger, I used to I used to be very like energetic, but I don't think it was because of the sugars. I don't think it was because I just wasn't, trained in the right. I just think I just had an anxiety or an anxious persona. That's just, who I was raised to become in my environment. And it's because of all the shouting, the beating, the yelling, rather than showing love to this person, me, rather than showing me love, communicating with me, finding out. I think it's very imperative that you find out what your kids or what your nieces and nephews, what are they thinking about, what are they worried about, and then just listen to them, listen to their problems. I think listening to people's problems helps them so much, especially in their youth. Remember, this is their foundation. They're literally creating their future. So if you listen to them and their problems now, and you teach them how to solve them, you teach them about saving and being away from certain friends and finding a hobby and a purpose, and you teach them to keep their temple clean and eat the right foods and drink a lot of water and get enough sleep at night, and you teach them how to socialize. Guys, if you teach your kids these things, if you teach your nieces and nephews, your cousins, your relatives, if you teach people how to do these things, what do you think will happen to you? What do you think is going to happen to you? You're going to learn how to do these things. Remember, as you teach these things, you're learning as well. And then eventually you can teach people how to teach these things as well. So guys, genuinely, I just wanted to share that story with you. Hopefully you can relate to my story. Like, I've been through a lot of things. I will open up eventually more, because I feel like the more I open up, the more you can relate with me. And the more you relate with me, the more you can like actually take the action. Because if I just keep saying, things that you guys have heard already, or I keep being, nonchalant, and I'm not actually pressing on the actual issue, like, you guys will just be like, oh, well, I mean, he is a nice guy and he's well spoken, but like, I don't really relate to him. And yes, I will have haters by being more open, by being, sharing my stories, my backstories. But at the end of the day, I want to eliminate anxiety in the youth in London. And this could be men, women. Obviously, I prioritize men because I'm a man and I relate to, men more. But obviously, if you're a woman as well watching this video, like, genuinely, you can value so much. You can gain so much value from watching these videos. And I will hold myself accountable to helping you. I just literally hired a manager for my YouTube videos, and like he was saying, oh, my SEOs are so bad, and it gave me a bit of anxiety. But then I realized, like, if I just seek help, this guy's literally telling me what to do. Why am I getting anxiety about what this guy is telling me to do? Like, he's giving me a solution. So start replacing the problem with a solution, and actually listen to people that need help. Listen to people's problems, and share your experience. Maybe that person might be hooked onto what you've been through, and because of what they've heard through your own experience, maybe that might change. That might be literally the change in their life. So think about it. Join my Discord. It'll be the first link in the description. I love you guys all. Take care, guys, and we out. Peace.